Hey guys, what's up? It's Shane with Rustic Standard, and I've been getting some questions on how I build some of the things I do. So thought it'd be a good idea to grab a camera and film some behind the scenes. Maybe give you guys some pointers along the way. So I hope you guys dig it. I hope you maybe learn something, and stick around because I got more videos coming. So if you guys know anybody that is into this type of thing, share it with them. That'd be awesome. But today I'm going to show you how I built a bar stool for our man cave, and it's sourced from some pretty awesome reclaimed wood right here in local Jacksonville Beach. So anyways, with that being said, let's get started. Let's dive in. Let's get cracking.
Ooh, still working out the kinks on being in front of a camera by yourself in the garage, but let's get started on the seat. I took a grinder with the cut-off wheel and got rid of these bolts. I don't think they would have made a very comfortable seat. Some of these boards were in pretty rough shape when I got my hands on them, so after I got the bolts out, I took them over to the jointer to make sure I had a nice flat square edge, which will make your life so much better when you go to glue these things up. Once I got one side perfectly flat and square, I could take them to the table saw then and get the opposing side nice flat and square as well. And then once I put all three together, they fit together perfectly. Next up, find your clamps and the wood glue and get ready to glue these things up. Make sure you get a nice coating of glue on the entire edge, spread it all around so it's nice and equal, and tighten them puppies down. I like to throw a clamp or two on the top side just so I have equal force on both sides so there's no bending or bowing as the glue dries. Next up was turning these zinc coated bolts nice and black using this super glue stuff I picked up at the local big box store. Just a quick dip in, turned them black immediately. It's pretty cool, really. I drilled my holes and then I could hand tighten these bolts into their new home. Next up was tackling the base, and I had these two perfect pieces of material for it. They were the perfect length, and here I just went ahead and rough cut to the width I thought I was going to make these legs and got rid of some bad spots. You want to make sure to consider how high you want to make these stools. I had to take into account my 2-inch seat and my 42-inch bar top. And I ended up going with a 30-inch bar stool, and it worked perfectly. It's the perfect height. I threw these through the planer to get them down to the same thickness, and then it was off to the miter saw where I could start to do my angles. I cut each leg at a 5-degree angle, and I recommend maybe going 10 degrees. Mine looked a little too straight for my preference, but aesthetically it looks just fine. Once you get all your pieces cut, you can start to lay them out on your upside down seat to get an idea and a feel for how it's going to look. I used pocket holes and glue to joint everything, and it worked out pretty well. I recommend using as many clamps as possible to make sure things don't move around, as the glue can be kind of slippery in between joints. Here you can start to get a good feel for what it's going to look like. This is also a good way to get a measurement for your foot rails. Just had a few more pocket holes to drill, and like I said, these clamps come in really handy when you don't have more than 2 hands. For the other 2 rails, I decided to drill from the outside and fill that screw hole with a 1/2-inch dowel, as you'll see here coming up. And pretty simple process. You just fill the hole with glue, cut your dowel to approximate length, let it dry, and then flush cut it off. A little tip to fill any gaps from an imperfect drilled hole is to throw some sawdust around the glue and kind of pack it in there. Once it dries and you cut it off and sand it down, you won't be able to notice it at all. And now on to everybody's least favorite part. Still super important that you start with 80 grit, move up to 150 and 220 grit to get that nice smooth surface before you can move on to the stain. I ended up going with an ebony stain. It worked out perfect. I wanted something pretty dark to contrast my seat. I ended up giving the base just one nice even coat, and that's really all you should need. Once that dries, it was time for the polyurethane finish, and I like to apply 3 coats and sand with 400 grit sandpaper in between coats. Gives it an ultra smooth feel, and I always recommend using tack cloths and denatured alcohol to have a super clean surface before each coat of polyurethane. One last wipe down and you should be ready to attach the base to the seat. I kept it simple here and just pre-drilled about 5 holes into the base and secured it with a few more screws. This prevented any rocking and made it really sturdy. And that should about wrap it up. I want to thank you guys for watching. My website is in the description below. Go check that out if it's something you're into. And I'm going to be trying to pump out a few more of these videos, so stay tuned. Until then, see you next time.